Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum to everyone who might be listening to this, and hello as well to anyone who's tuning in. And this is day 2 of Muharram, and I just wanted to give a short reflection, some thoughts at this time of year to reform myself, to try to bring myself back onto the path, and inshallah hopefully find some inspiration for all of us who are striving on this way. So previously I was talking about how we are pretty much all caught up in a relentless economic system that is attached to a particular ideology, maybe not even a secular ideology, but certainly an anti-higher worlds ideology, we could put it that way. And this economic system, as we know, is working in all kinds of different directions, and we are being given messages from all different kinds of directions in order to groom us to become blind, happy kind of functionaries within this economic system, pacified and just struggling to go about our daily business, just about managing to pay the bills, and grateful if we can do that, and not having time to think and to reflect and to develop and to grow. It's not easy to find the balance between trying to support a family in this system and trying to gain the knowledge of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam that they had to pass on to us. And I often get asked this question by people. They say, what am I supposed to do? Because this path requires much thought, study, reflection, self-scrutiny. At the same time, with the current system that we have, pretty much most people are working long hours like crazy, just trying to keep their head above water. And I have to say that myself, I have been working on this probably for about at least the last 25 years. How to find a way of embarking on this journey towards the truth, towards the divine, towards a development of consciousness, and how to balance that with a system that essentially takes the best part of ourselves and channels that into trivia, channels that into just the daily kinds of paperwork that we will be dealing with in an office. When you get to the end of the day, the end of a working day, you feel like the best hours of your day have been taken and channeled into this relentlessly, almost pointless exercise, which you have to do in order to pay your bills, in order to buy your food. Not only that, but there are also many subtle and subliminal aspects to working within this system and surviving within this system. The system is, like I said, hooked up to a particular culture. And if you do not fit into that culture, no matter how much you try, you might try to kind of pass yourself off as one of the people in the office, but they're going to pick up that you are thinking about things differently, that you have a different approach to life. So you can try to disguise yourself as much as you can, but other people are going to spot that you're not really, complying with the team at work, and you're not really, coming to our Friday night goings out together. You're not really too enthralled by the rewards system we have, which is going to, promote you to a higher level in the company. And your mentality is basically different. And therefore, we're going to find a reason why we have to let you go. Because essentially, the company realizes that you are thinking independently. You have thoughts of your own. And that you're going along with the culture of that company in order to survive. But privately, you have a mind of your own. And that is not particularly appreciated. You may be told that you don't know how to follow systems. That's what I've been told in the past. I don't know how to follow systems. I have to say I'm a very systematic person, especially when it comes to my research and my writing. I know I'm systematic. So my problem is not with following systems. Another thing I've noticed, having just travelled to the Caribbean, where I have witnessed people who literally have been uprooted. These Caribbean countries have literally been created by the colonial system. They've been uprooted. People don't have a knowledge of their lineage. They are a mix of different roots, and not only that, but there are signs in their lineages, from what they do know, that some of their ancestors were raped by the slave owners out there, or by those who had brought in the indentured labourers. And living in this history and being among those who are having to live with this history, and then coming back into, towards Europe, it struck me very starkly how once you enter the Europe zone, probably this is the same when you're heading back to the US as well, once you're heading into these zones, the game becomes about proving that you are a peaceful person, proving that you are acceptable, and that you comply with the culture. And I see this on LinkedIn. It's very revealing when you look on LinkedIn to actually how enthusiastically lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam comply with this complex and very well funded corporate system. It's quite surprising actually that lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam take pride in getting that little extra promotion, being patted on the back by the boss, and that this has come to be seen as a mark of success. If I have made it in JP Morgan, I am a success, and I'm going to make sure everybody knows that I work for JP Morgan, because otherwise, if nobody knows I work for JP Morgan, what's the point of me working for JP Morgan? I'm just putting this in inverted commas because I don't work for JP Morgan. I'm just saying this is what people have in their mind. And it's incredible that we really, in a sense, have quite a successful global system of slavery, a global system of enslavement. And that many of those people who are embroiled in this global system of enslavement are very happy to be caught up in it, very happy to be a part of it. and get a good feeling out of being able to prove that, you know, they can make it in this type of world. So when one comes back into these zones, one realizes that there is again this game being played of how compliant are you? You know, how 50% are you on your ethics and your beliefs and your values? And of course, corporate companies will say to some employees, yeah, we can accept you if you're kind of like 25% standing by your ethics and values and beliefs. 25% is okay. 75% you hand your soul over to us. 25%, yes, we'll let you have a day off. You know, we'll let you go to the prayer room if you need to do your salah. We'll let you have a day off for Eids and Ashura. But as long as we know that the 75% of your soul has been sold to us, like we've bought 75% of your soul. Like I said, it's not easy to find a solution to this because now it is so prevailing. It's everywhere. But we can take small steps to liberate ourselves from this. We can support organizations that themselves are, as an example, campaigning against slavery, often at the risk of their own lives. Or we can work to make incremental changes within our corporate culture, as well as within our social culture. Don't underestimate how you can influence those around you. And again, coming back to these days of remembering the martyrdom of Imam Hussein alayhi salam and those handful of followers who stood by him, and reflecting upon what happened to his family. Again, those who wanted to wipe out Islam, or we could say appropriate Islam, wanted to do so for economic reasons. Islam had already been turned into a gravy train, and Imam Ali alayhi salam was going to put a stop to that gravy train. Imam Hassan alayhi salam would have done that, didn't get much of an opportunity to stay on the path that Imam Ali alayhi salam had traced out with regard to correcting things. And then Imam Hussein alayhi salam stood for everything that was opposite to this corruption and to this gravy train, to this movement that had been turned into the opportunity for people to grab land and wealth and become despotic and massacre people and terrorize people. Imam Hussein alayhi salam took a stand against that. He took a stand against, we could say, the corporate culture, the corporate corruption of his day. And if we are going to find true liberation and true freedom, then we really need to wake up to how enslaved we actually are, and just how much we've been groomed to tolerate the ex-colonial powers and accept them, and even go out of our way to try to accommodate. We don't have to do this, and we need to get back our dignity in whatever way you can. With wisdom, we need to reflect on how we can liberate ourselves from this mental and economic slavery, liberate ourselves from handing over our souls to corruption and to those who have actually no real interest in our well-being. And we have to put the brakes on and reflect, how much of my soul have I sold to this corporate system? and how am I going to get myself out of this to create something alternative, an alternative system that I can take genuine pride in and where I can stand with my head held high. Thank you very much for listening for these few thoughts, and inshallah I hope to do more throughout the next few days. Assalamu alaikum.